5 most powerful sales advice that will make you a better salesperson. Part 1. Now, are you a salesperson? Are you a business person? Are you finding it difficult to close your prospects? If that is you, I will want you to stick to the end of this video because I have an advice to give to you. This is the same thing I always employ in my business that helps me to win my clients. If you are new in this channel, kindly hit the red subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so that when next I release another video that will be helpful to you in your business, you will be the first person to receive the notification. Number 1, approach sales with the right attitude. It's often said that your attitude determines your altitude. This also applies to sales. You have to approach sales with the right mindset. Your mindset has to be right. You have to go with an attitude of confidence. Confidence in yourself and confidence in the product or services you are selling. Now, before you go, have it in mind that you are going out to help somebody. Or maybe you want to call a prospect. Or maybe you are chatting online with him or her. Have this mindset in you. You are helping this person and not begging. When you approach a sales with the mindset of a helper, you will end up sounding like a professional and an authority in what you are doing. You will sound confident. But when you approach sales as a beggar, the person will see you as someone who is just desperate to make money. It's not really about the sale. When you're approaching a sale, don't act as if all your interest is just to sell. Your mindset should be, how do I help this person? People don't really care how much you know until they know how much you care. You have to show them that I am here to help you. There's a mindset you will use on a prospect, he will be the one begging you. While there's a mindset you will use on a prospect, you will be the one begging. But listen, the goal is to make your client or your prospect to beg you to buy your product or your services, and not for you to beg him or her. Get your mindset right. Most times when you lose a sale, it could be because you sound so desperate because your prospect sees you as a beggar. Number 2, prepare. Prepare. Do your homework. Before you start selling, sit down, study the product, study the service, study the need it's trying to meet in the market, study the problem, study how the customers feel while facing the problem and how they will feel while using your product or your service. Don't just pick up a phone to call a prospect only for you to have a less knowledge of what you are selling. Prepare yourself very well. As a matter of fact, while preparing, take your time to go through the frequently asked questions. Sit down and study them. Write them down. Study. Do your homework. If you don't prepare, you can't sell. If you don't prepare, you can't win. So before you go for a sales, maybe be it making a sales call, or maybe before you start your day to sell a particular product, or maybe before you put it out on advert, make sure you have studied it very well. Study the problem. Study the solution it's providing. Study how the people feel, your prospect feel when they are facing this problem. That will help you to win the sale. Number 3, ask questions first and listen carefully for the answers from your prospect. In the medical field, it is always a malpractice for you to administer a drug without diagnosis. Prescription comes after diagnosis. And you as a salesperson, you are not there to be a talkative. Good salespeople talk, but great salespeople listens. If you must close a sale, all you have to do is to lead the conversation with questions. Because the person that asks questions in a conversation actually leads the conversation. So your own is to listen. When you ask your prospects questions and when you listen to them, you will be able to detect their pain points. But when you open up the phone, or maybe it's in a sales presentation or maybe you are just chatting online and all of a sudden you are just talking blah 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 or several features of your product. No, come on, listen. It's not done that way. Ask them questions. Ask them questions. Try to know their pain points. When you understand the pain points of a prospect, you will know how to position your product in order to solve that problem of that prospect. But if you don't ask questions, you will not know. Don't just come and start administering prescriptions without diagnosing first. And how do you diagnose a prospect? By asking him or her question. When you ask, keep quiet, listen to him to answer. By so doing, you understand his pain points, and you will be able to give your solution, give your product as a solution to that problem. Now, people buy their way out of something. They don't really buy their way into something. There are problems your prospects face. Try to know what it is. Maybe you are selling a real estate product and you are selling a house at an affordable price. Most of your prospects, their pain points could be they are tired of paying rent in a city where they have lived for maybe 30, 40 years or 10 years thereabout. So you have to ask them, how do you know that this person has lived in this city for a very long time? How do you know that this person is not happy being a tenant, he now wants to be a landlord? How will you know? Listen, it is only by asking questions and listening to an answer. Ask questions. Don't talk too much. Like I said, good salespeople, they talk too much, while great salespeople, they ask questions and they listen too much. Number 4, be honest about your knowledge gap. If, for instance, a prospect happens to ask a question that you don't know the answer, or maybe he asks something that is outside your area of specialization, don't guess. Don't give a wrong answer. What you do, you can reschedule the call for the person. You can tell him, okay, Mr. Prospect, I heard you, I understood you, but this particular thing, I would like to make more professional consultations. I will give you a call in the next, let's say, 1 hour or 1 day or 2 days. So, okay, can we reach a deal here for us to have this conversation again in the next 1 day, or the next 1 hour, in the next 2 hours? Both of you should reach a conclusion. Then go back again and make your studies, make your findings. You come back to your prospect. That is where preparation is very, very important, because you actually need to have these things right before you approach a prospect. But peradventure, a question comes to you that you don't know the answer, don't answer based on gaze. Number 5, avoid overselling. Listen, trust is very important. By overselling, I mean don't give too much promise that you won't be able to fulfill. Don't talk much on a product more than what the product does. Like several people online, you sell products online because you feel that you are not seeing the customer or the prospect. You now have to go and write a very long sales copy, because you know copywriting very well. You write a very long sales copy trying to talk what the product is not doing. Now, such a thing can win you a customer once, but that customer will not come back again. That trust is very important. Say what the product can do. Don't say what the product cannot do. Make promises you can fulfill. Don't say the one you can't fulfill. Don't give bonus you know you can't afford to do. Make sure everything you are saying about the product is actually what the product can do, or maybe what the services you can deliver. Don't oversell. Yeah, we have come to the end of the video. Take out for the part 2 of this video of top sales advice that will make you a better salesperson. Like, if you've not subscribed to this YouTube channel, kindly hit the red subscribe button and subscribe, so that in my subsequent videos you will be the first to get notified. Till we meet next time, I remain Chukwuma Godian.